What's up, guys? Here it is. Game wrapped up about half an hour ago, and all that really needs to be said about this one is we won and we looked good enough to give this fan base some hope. I don't know how much we proved, but we did look good enough tonight to where I can look at this team and go, they have a chance. I'm going to stand by everything I said in my previous videos about how it might be too little too late, and why didn't we figure this stuff out, a week ago or 2 weeks ago, or heck, all the way back in week one. But for now, we have to make do with what we have, and what we have is a 3-4 team, and we needed this win, and we got it. So, huge shout out to the defense. Every player on that defense played their ass off tonight. The Niners had one good drive the whole game. The defensive line was dominant tonight. They got pressure on practically every snap. Run defense, little shaky at the start of the game, but as the game went along, that obviously stopped mattering because the Niners weren't able to run the ball once we got ahead to a certain lead. And obviously, the player of the game tonight, Michael frickin' Bennett. Wow. I mean, there are two guys on this team right now who are, chirping about their contracts. And, we all know how I feel about Cam Chancellor at this point. I'll never not love Cam Chancellor, but he's hurting himself in my eyes with some of the stuff he's been doing this season and, of course, in the offseason. But Michael Bennett, I mean, he's playing so good in some of these games that part of me is almost like, maybe we should just give this guy what he wants because he's that good. 3.5 sacks, probably should have had 4, but he didn't get credit for one that he really probably should have. Numerous plays made in the backfield, and by the end of that game, Kaepernick just wanted no part of even trying to drop back in that pocket. He was just getting the ball out as soon as he could just because he knew that defensive line was hunting him that whole game. Cliff Averill, sack and a half, and he forced a fumble. I have no idea how we didn't recover that fumble, but that's how it goes. I thought David King made some really nice plays out there. Obviously, not a huge presence in the stat sheet, but he was good. And, Bruce Irvin, another guy who didn't show up in the stat sheet, but I saw one play where he was covering it. I think it might have been Anquan Bolden way down the field. That's a versatile dude, man. I mean, Bruce Irvin, in my opinion, has been one of our better players this year. We are not gonna be able to keep that guy this offseason, and it kind of makes me sad because he's a baller, and I hope he makes his money in Atlanta and has a lot of success in Atlanta because that's where I figure he's going to go be reunited with Dan Quinn. But I thought he played good tonight. Frank Clark played like a G tonight. He had a tackle for loss early in that game. He had to play a lot tonight because of no Jordan Hill, and I thought he held up. I can't say nothing bad about anybody on this defense. I mean, Richard Sherman completely shut down Torrey Smith. Torrey Smith did nothing the whole game, and, Sherman was responsible for that. Didn't notice any problems from Kerry Williams. Only thing you can say about this defense really is Vernon Davis got them a little bit. He had one drive where he had a couple of really good catches. At the end of the day, you're still saying 4 catches for 61 yards is not that much, but he got us more than anybody else on the Niners did. So, yeah. Defense A+. Only thing you can say about them is they didn't force a turnover, but when you play that good, it doesn't even matter. I mean, I can't even hold that against them. So, defense. If they play like that the whole rest of this season, we're going to have a chance no matter what the offense is doing. Offense. We got back to running the ball. This was the best game I've seen Darrell Bevell call in a long time. We controlled the ball with the ground game. Marshawn Lynch was good. Thomas Rawls was good. A lot of good stuff there. And when we threw, we went for big plays. And they didn't all cash in, but a few of them did. Enough to win this game. Shout out to Tyler Lockett. He had a huge game on offense. He didn't do anything on special teams today, but he had a lot of good stuff going on offense. He had the long touchdown. He had other good catches. And we've been watching this team all year, and we've been waiting for Tyler Lockett to have a big play on offense because we know he has it in him. It hadn't happened yet. He had a chance to do it twice against the Bengals, and Wilson didn't get him the ball. He had a chance to do one against Carolina, and Wilson overthrew him. Today, hit him for 6. Love it. Jermaine Kearse had some big plays, especially on that drive right before the half that unfortunately didn't produce any points. Fred Jackson, guys, he is so slow now. I mean, Fred Jackson, he's got no turbo left. He used up all his turbo last season, but even with that, he found a way to be productive tonight by using his blockers. That dude's smart, and he contributed to this win. He had a big second down conversion on 2nd and long on a screen pass. I'll gladly take that. Quiet night for Jimmy Graham, but that 23-yard catch he had in the second quarter, I love it. Wilson just pops it up. Graham's in coverage. It doesn't matter. He just goes up because he's bigger than everybody else and brings it down. So as far as the skill position players, pretty good. Wilson was almost perfect except for the 2 big mistakes. And I got to get on this just because he would have had almost a flawless game tonight if it wasn't for those 2. The first one, whatever, he threw it in the end zone right before the half. Baldwin, it looked like he had Baldwin, but he waited too long, got picked off. Could have thrown it underneath to Ricardo Lockett for maybe 7 to 10 yards. Bad throw, but whatever. The second one was just a straight-up Hail Mary, basically. Kearse was double covered down the field, and Kearse stopped running, but he probably wasn't going to catch it anyway because he was double covered. I don't know what that is. That's not the Russell Wilson that I know. The Russell Wilson that I know values the ball possession more than anything. And that was just an arm punt. That was a Brett Favre special. That's just, I'm going to throw it up, and if it gets picked off, well, it's like a punt. Well, I don't really like that. And I know Pete Carroll doesn't like that stuff either. If you heard Pete Carroll after the game, he was pissed about that second pick. Other than that, pretty great stuff from him. I liked what I saw from him. He was smart in the pocket. So the only real spot of criticism for this game is the offensive line. And good news, it's looking a little more like the offensive line last year that was really good at run blocking but really crappy at pass blocking. And that's a big improvement from where we were earlier, because early on in this season, it felt like we couldn't do anything. We couldn't run block. We couldn't pass block. Now it seems like we're going back to that old offensive line that was really good at run blocking but couldn't pass block. So at least they can do something right. But same old crap going on when it comes to pass blocking. Nobody's really playing well, which is the most frustrating thing, because I want to be able to point out one guy, and the closest I can do is Gary Gilliam. Gary Gilliam's been our best offensive lineman this year, and he's not good. In fact, he's below average to bad. So yeah, that's frustrating. But as for guys to call out, there are 2 guys I'm going to call out for this game, and then I'm going to give everyone else a pat on the back. Number 1, J.R. Sweezy. Sweezy's been good the last 2 games. I think Sweezy was awesome against the Bengals, and he played pretty good against the Panthers. Tonight, he got embarrassed. There were several plays where he was just getting dominated. He had the leg whip penalty that killed the drive coming out of the second half. Yeah, Sweezy did not do himself any favors when he's going after a contract this offseason. And this second one, this one actually kind of pisses me off. Alvin Bailey. So a lot of people out there, you probably maybe don't know who Alvin Bailey is because he's not a big-time player. He was a part of our offensive line last year. He came in for Russell Okung when Okung got hurt. He was the 6th offensive lineman. He was, the guy who we brought in off the bench, and he was good last year. He was pretty good. Shows up to camp, 30 pounds overweight. He weighs 350, and, he goes out there in the preseason, and he can't do anything. He's so fat, he can't keep up with pass rushers. He's not getting his blocks and run blocking. We try him at guard, we try him at tackle, and he can't do anything. And then he kind of sort of does a little bit against the backups when we played Oakland. And, obviously he didn't win the starting job. And then last week he tweets out some crap about how, oh, I wish I was at any other NFL city besides Seattle right now. And then apparently it was supposed to be a joke, but what a stupid joke if true. And tonight he went out there for a bit because I think Okung was hurt for a couple plays, and Gilliam, I think, got hurt for a couple plays too. They both were fine. But he goes out there and he's waddling around at right tackle, and Aaron Lynch just runs right by him for a sack in that fourth quarter. Killed the drive. It it's not just that he gave up the sack. It's the fact that he shows up to camp overweight and he complains about the fact that he didn't get the starting job, and then he goes out there because of injury, and he doesn't belong on an NFL field. He's a 350-pound guy trying to play right tackle. The guy runs right around him. Everybody we play is going to attack that dude if he goes out there, but he's going to complain about the fact that he got benched. So that kind of pisses me off because, that's a guy we were kind of counting on this year to do something for us, and he can't do nothing. All he does is waddle around out there and give up sacks. Other than that, I'm cool. Those two guys clean it up, except maybe Alvin Bailey. I don't even care if you clean it up. Just get the hell out of here. But nobody got hurt in this game seriously except maybe Thomas Rawls. Rawls had a minor leg injury. I think he'll be okay, but he got dinged up a little bit. Hope he's okay because he's showing me something, man, and I'm really starting to buy into him maybe being the starter next year. But this game, phenomenal effort by the defense. Nothing bad to say about those guys. Offense was good enough. And there's reason to still hope. And that's really all I'm going to give you. I stand by everything I've said in previous videos, but we're still kicking, and we get a couple extra days off between now and Dallas, so let's use them. All right, I'll be coming at you with a Huskies pregame video before this very interesting Stanford game. And, yeah, that's what I got. Oh, yeah, and San Francisco, fix your goddamn field. We're playing the Super Bowl on there. Well, I'm not even going to say we're playing the Super Bowl there because that's getting way ahead of myself, but somebody's going to play the Super Bowl there, and the last thing I want to see is somebody, breaking their ankle because the turf monster gave in. Yeah, that's not okay. All right, peace out.